What is going on, guys? Welcome back, Commentary for looking at the feedback from the last video, looking at the feedback on Twitter. And I mentioned last night, I feel like EA has completely lost the community. EA and the Madden community are just completely fractured. Most people in this community do not have faith in the direction Madden is going. So when they say go all out, Madden 21, fresh new features, innovative gameplay mechanics, bold new cover, I mean, I can't stress you enough. They literally mention bold new cover in the description of the game. Meaning, they changed the cover, so you should go buy the game. I've had 8 gaming companies come to me in the past 3 years. Every one of them in a different stage of development. I have a channel that I don't think I've actually spoken a curse word on in 8 years. Yet, a majority of the Madden development team has me blocked. I've seen our community, perhaps more than any other person, be ruined by this game. Madden does not have customers. And I think that's one thing I've really had to learn. When you buy Madden, you really are left with 2 different intentions. First, you're going to be the person that buys the game and just simply hopes that it's gotten better. Second is the person that enjoys the game, but knows that his enjoyment of it is going to have to be defended. There is no middle ground. When you play Madden and you go online, you're landing in one of those 2 places. You're going to end up at a channel where someone talks constantly about what the game lacks, or what has been in the game before, or what isn't in the game now. And that's going to be, perceived as a negative channel. A channel like mine. One that literally has just become numb to optimism. And essentially will seek out any alternative to this game. And then question how those games can even begin to do anything better than Madden. And that's the really hard fact of this. You can't speak freely about the state of this game and not come off as being negative. Then, you have other people that have created a channel that still have some leftover form of optimism. Maybe it's a pregame trailer, or a dev communication. Or maybe they're just willing to still accept that the game is in some sort of forward progress. A 3-year plan, a 5-year plan. Even if they're slow making the game better, there are people that will say, well, it's still improving. Now, in a way, it's sad that those people get kind of labeled like a shill, right? A person that either just loves EA, or they don't know football, or they haven't played the game long enough, because the perception is, you couldn't speak positively about this game without being paid by EA. If you think about it, most companies, I don't just mean gaming companies, I mean most companies would be absolutely terrified. You have 0 prospect of a casual fan. You are literally getting the game in the hands of a person who is either going to love or loathe it. Now, you would think, given the state of things, there would be some type of damage control. Like EA would be out trying to salvage its reputation or what's left. But the funny thing is, they literally do the exact opposite. You've got a lead developer that once called his customers young bucks because he felt they didn't understand the intricacies of game design enough to appreciate his product. and that if they had played the vastly inferior games to today's technology, that they would have a better respect for his product. Another time, someone tried to express to him that it seemed like John Madden wouldn't be proud of the game that his name is on, given how shallow the franchise mode is and how poor the gameplay is. And he responded by telling that fan that John Madden loves the game, and that if that's essentially what he was going to say to bring him down, to, quote, try again. This is not a normal relationship between a gamer and a gaming company. You know, games are supposed to be played for enjoyment. They're supposed to be made by people that have a passion and a love to not just create a game, but make something that fans are going to be inspired by. Make something that fans are going to want to create with. And the reality is Madden has taken this relationship between gamer and fan and community and ultimately helped make it become one of the most toxic places you could ever imagine. One where gamers are, one, constantly reminded by just how much the game lacks, but also how much, in a way, we're supposed to feel like we're just asking for too much. You know, there's so many, I don't want to say milestones, but more like a watershed moment in this community. And I think, to me, one of the ones that stands out the most but gets brought up the least was when Clint was talking about the game limitations when it came to the Pro Bowl, and how the system memory couldn't be allocated for the Pro Bowl helmets. And obviously, you know, everything gets recorded, right? So this interview is recorded. And then 4 years later, they're literally selling us on the same console the Pro Bowl. And I don't think enough got made of that. But to me, that is just in a vacuum, in a really small segment, the reality of what's happened here. You have a gaming company that wants to project to you that you have unrealistic expectations, that wants to create an environment where other fans of the game look down on you with their developers as someone that doesn't respect the product enough or understand what goes into making the product, but fail to comprehend that it's not our responsibility to understand. It's not my job as a customer to even begin to have a fundamental understanding of how difficult someone's job may be in terms of building it. It's my responsibility as the customer to simply understand, is this a good quality product? Is this product worth my repeat business? Or is this product a bad product that I don't want to be involved with? Madden has actually taken that to the extreme. Madden has such a bad product that many of its customers feel the need to speak out about how bad it is, not only to warn others about how poor it is, but to hope that they can get some type of resolution for the game getting better. If EA was a restaurant, people would be dying of food poisoning. And I don't mean that lightly. I mean literally they would be undercooking food while you have reviewers telling people, hey, I got undercooked food here. And then Clint would be in the back flipping a steak saying, well, hey, you don't know how hard it is to cook a steak. You came here for your food. If you can cook it better, cook it at your house. And I never use analogies, but good Lord, it's hard to find an analogy that fits how broken, flawed, and horrible this relationship is between us and this game. They should be embracing every single creator that cares enough to spend 1 or 10 minutes out of their day to talk about it. They should be thankful and appreciative that people come to them with ideas and concepts and show them, look, not only is this possible, but hey, other games are doing it. We enjoy this in other games. We enjoy independent games have these things. Could we please get them in Madden? With the hope that ultimately, a rising tide lifts all boats. If Axis Football and Maximum Football somehow got that tricky pursuit figured out, why can't Madden? I enjoy a football game much more when defenders know how to pursue upfield and tackle someone. If we could get that somehow ironed out in Madden, we'd be in a little bit better shape. I never had to worry about any other game developer asking me how hard it was or demanding for me to understand how difficult things were. I understood they had limitations, graphically, if nothing else. But they never came back and said, do you understand how hard it is to motion capture? Of course not. I've never done it. It's not my responsibility to care. Can you try to make it look better? End of conversation. Sure, we'll try. EA doesn't even get to the we'll try part. EA leaves it as, do you know how hard it is? Hey, the pursuit in this game stinks. Do you know how hard it is to program pursuit? No. Can you fix it anyway? Here's an X Factor. Here's a Superstar mode. Here's DJ Khaled. Here's the Migos. Here's all these things you didn't want. Here's simulation football. We put the yard in there, 7-on-7, 8-on-8 football. I just can't imagine where this relationship is going to go, where this game gets better and people in this community get happier. The more I sit and look at this, the more I feel this is NBA Elite. This is a game that is going to get very, very minor threats from 2K. And market share is just going to be lost quickly. Because you've got people now that are just so tired of what this game has become and what this game is. I don't think people care what they're going to play. And I have full faith. And this is really, I want you to understand, this doesn't come from a position of me even caring about 2K. I have more faith in 2K making a arcade football game that plays in a more simulation aspect than Madden does, when EA is the only one that can make a simulation football game. Let that sink in. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not the only one that feels that way. And EA should really have concerns about this, and they just don't. I know one thing. That franchise deep dive that they've got coming out in the middle of August better literally make everybody stand up and clap when we're done reading it. Because if not, this game is not going to be Madden 21 go all out. It's just going to be Madden 21 out. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. I will be back in the week with more commentary.